because it sounds good. I want to take care of your children and make sure that they can go to school on somebody else's dollar because it sounds good. You put people like that in office, and I'm telling you, whether you lose it today or 60 years from now, you end up with Sharia law in this nation, or you end up with runaway courts in this nation, or you end up, oh, let's see, what else could happen that would be bad? Like, for example, a court could say, oh, this is extreme. Many of you aren't even going to believe that I'm going to say this. A court could say that it's legal to kill your baby inside your mother's womb.
No.
A court could actually say that it's legal to get married, and there could be moron politicians who could say that the courts made that law. It could get that bad. I'm just warning you, and I know that a lot of you think I'm extreme here, but it actually could come to that. Do you understand what we are starting to lose here, folks? And how we are indeed starting to dishonor those who have gone before us. I have said publicly that I believe with the passage of Obamacare that we lost the republic. And please, we're not a democracy. I believe that we lost the republic. I now believe that it is not something that you tweak the system and try and hold on for the right election and hope that you can fight it back inside the system. No, I think we lost the republic. Now we have to go about rebuilding a republic. How do you do that? Okay, we still have an elected process in this nation. How do you rebuild a republic? You elect men like these. That's how you rebuild a republic. Because you've got the military that is so superior, and they are taking on the enemy and they are trashing them. Inside here, we are being rolled by our enemies. And inside my own party, enemies are working. Those who wish to destroy this nation for their own political greed. That is what we are facing. And I am long past putting up with it for the R's sake. I want genuine constitutional Christians. I want genuine constitutional Christians. I want men to come walking up out of the mist in Ames and say, I will take on the State House, like Chad did. I want men to look around. I want men to look around in the fog of war and say, there's an evil one. Stacey Apple, you're next. I want a guy, when the shells of politics are flying around them, can bulk up in the United States Constitution and the Holy Scriptures and let the shells fly. You're safe. Because you know where God's law said, what God's law said, and you know what the Constitution says. You know that the power lies with the people, and that's what Funk believes. So when it's falling around Funk, he's got that stuff to hold on to. And I want these guys to win. But I also understand that, after June 8th, great, we all have a party, and then we, watch reruns of The Simpsons or something. And watch Marry Your Children again. That's always on. And then we'll forget about it. No, it doesn't work that way because you got November coming. Yep. Where the epitome of evil lurks again. So then after November, let's say everything works perfectly. Kent wins, Dave wins, Jack wins. I'm a big Vanderplat supporter. Let's say
Here's Bob! Here's Bob!
Let's say all these guys win. And they all win in November. And we all start to celebrate. And everything is sweetness and light. But it's not. Because you see, at this point, you've got to reach over and you've got to grab a hold of their political shirt collars. And you have to get right in their face. As much as I like these guys, I am telling you, Dave, I like you a lot. I remember the first time you called in, and I was on Dace's show, guest hosting for Dace. Man, I thought, geez, this is a guy, he's headed for some big time because he is so articulate and able to lay out what my vision is. And I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, Kent, and I'm telling you, Chad, and I would tell Bob, if you guys float away from what you told me, we are going to cross swords really fast. Because I am not putting up with the loss of my liberty and saying, well, we're friends, so I'll let it go. You see, that helps to give these guys backbone, because it is a stress when you are there. It has been put to me, Tancredo put it this way to me, it is a Chinese water torture on your principles. Every day there's somebody there trying to hack away at your principles, trying to just get you to give a little bit. And the first time you give is that first time that your principles started to fade. If you'll give me this, I'll give you that, and back and forth, and I'll come on, the president needs you, the governor needs you, the party leadership needs you, stand with us on this one, even though it's a stink burger of a bill. Like Medicare prescription drugs. Oh, the party needs you, baby. The president needs you. So you throw your principles in the can just once. And then again. And all of a sudden, God bless his soul, you're Chuck Grassley and you're looking back after, how long? 26 years, 28 years, to 40, whatever. and you can't really identify what the man's principles are anymore. So what has happened? Well, we took a generation here where we failed to understand that simply electing a man and then sending them off was good enough. No, it's not. There has to be a backup here. That means that, with any good military plan, you got something in reserve. You got something in reserve, man. Our reserve is the threat of the primary. That's our reserve. So you fall off from this, and we come right back and take you out. That's why you can grab hold of them by those shirt collars, and you can say, guys, you've got to go do now what you said you're going to do. You've got to. And it does something else for them. You see, if they get there and all they hear in D.C. is a cesspool, it's nasty. And guys, Ken, you know it's rough in the State House. Chad, you're going to find out. That's a nasty place. If you understand when we're coming to you and saying, hang in there, we are proud of you, don't you fail me, you stick with us, we're with you, but don't you turn on me, then you see that hoists them up. They understand. Back home, they're with me. It's like sending letters to your soldiers overseas. Back home, they're with me. Don't pay attention to CNN. Back home, they're with me. Those letters mean a lot. Back home, they're with me. You push them. You push them to adhere to two things: the law under God and the law under man, which is the Constitution. We are not a nation